Hey everybody, today we are going to be reacting to My 50 Cal Exploded by Kentucky Ballistics. I heard about this one. I've... Oh boy. Yeah, I can tell that this is going to be a very interesting story. And I don't know if we get it all on video or what, but it's going to be a very interesting video. And I'm considering I'm seeing one of the thumbnails on one of the side videos already being one about his 50 cal exploding again. I think this is going to be a very interesting one. I don't watch a lot of Kentucky Ballistics. I just heard that this is a very good video to work with, so I'm going to go ahead and get this playing here. Link to the original will be in the description. If you enjoy, please do leave a like. If you have anything you'd like me to watch, please do leave anything in the comments. And please do subscribe to help me build up my community and help follow along in the future. Let's get it on. Kentucky Ballistics, take it away.
What's up, everybody? My name is Scott, and I'm going to tell you about how my 50 cal exploded, and I almost bit the dust about 2 weeks ago.
Ooh. Jesus, how deep does that... Or, yeah, don't... Jeez. That's nasty.
So I know a lot of you are probably wanting me to explain my injuries, and I'm going to...
Oh, my God. He busted up his arm. It's like, oh, there's no... Oh, dear God. And what happened to his chest? Yikes. This is some gnarly shite.
I'm going to do that, but I think it's best we start from the beginning. I know some of you are going to try to skip around in this video. I highly recommend you stay tuned and listen to all of this.
I take it that's his 50 cal that exploded. Jesus. Honestly, the gun itself doesn't look that bad from here, so it must have been like a major failure on some other parts, but it's clearly not the barrel that blew up. So it's probably like all the other parts probably blew back into him, is what I'm guessing.
Yes, but for those who are going to skip around, let me clear something up first. This was not the Barrett that we torture tested, and this was a complete freak accident. There's nothing that I did to have caused this. So April 9th, 2021, we come out here to shoot.
I mean, it's not like anybody wants this to happen.
A fire hydrant with some slap rounds using my Serbu RN50. So we have the Serbu RN50 with the 36-inch long heavy barrel, and we're gonna go ahead and go big or go home and start out with this. This is a 50 BMG slap tracer round.
Okay, that was a little sudden cut. Anyone who knows what the word... I don't know if SLAP is an acronym for something, but if you know what the SLAP actually does, let me know in the comments, because I don't know what the SLAP does. I don't know if it's just a name they call it, or if it's the acronym for something, but SLAP, I've heard it from some ammunition names, but I'm not sure if it's a specific type.
The slap rounds tend to go a little to the right, so I aimed a little to the left, but this one actually hit true to where I was aiming. We hit right here. And you can see that thing is smoking.
That's a nice little hole there.
And then we blew right through the back of this thing.
To be fair, this is a pretty darn rusty old hydrant, so it's probably at least... If he shot it on brand new hydrant, I think it'd be slightly different, but that being said, oh, that's still some gnarly damage. Is that... Because that's technically a pipe. It's partly hollow, isn't it? So... Still, that is some nastiness.
Everything was going pretty smooth. We shot the fire hydrant several times, but the slap rounds were acting a little funny. One of the slap rounds hit like 1.5 feet low and to the right. I say we hit it with one more slap round, but this time aim for the thickest part of the fire hydrant and see what happens.
Ooh, you see that little bounce part that came out with some of the ammo in the back there? Let me actually pull that back here.
Part of the fire hydrant and see what happens.
Watch that little part. That's like an offshoot that kind of skipped there. Interesting. That was nice. Notice how much larger the muzzle flap is compared to the first slap round. Okay, that is definitely a noticeable change. Okay, so this is telling me it's the ammo that's going wrong, because that is if this is supposed to be same kind of round, it should be having the same kind of effect. That is not the same effect. Something's wrong with this ammo.
The gun was functioning normally. as it always has. I've been using this gun for a long time now, and I've never had any issues out of it. So before all this happened, we took one last shot, and it was actually really, really cool. The round was stuck out the back of the fire hydrant. This is a 50 BMG silver red tip armor piercing incendiary tracer.
Ooh,
so we went through the top of the fire hydrant. Look at that. Oh my gosh. It's just stuck.
Okay, that is funny. That is funny to see. Just kind of, but dang. Man, you know what? If I was ever invulnerable and immortal, this is the kind of stuff that I would like to see the close-ups of.
Out the back. After that, I decided I was going to take one last shot with a slap round and try to hit the thickest spot on the fire hydrant. So before I loaded my last slap round, I know that there was no barrel obstruction because I literally found the round in the fire hydrant.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing to double check.
But this last round that I loaded into my Serbu RN50 was a very, very hot round, and I had no idea. And there's really no way for me to have ever known.
I'm going to assume that is not by temperature, but extra hot, as in power.
That this round was as hot as it was. So here you can see me taking the last shell casing out, and now I'm loading in the slap round.
How gentle of him.
I screw the cap on all the
Crazy how this thing just basically looks like a pipe that's got holes in it.
way. And the gun closes completely, and everything is functioning as normal.
This thing really does look kind of almost jury-riggy, doesn't it? I mean, it looks like a giant pipe with a screw-on cap and a barrel. It looks like it's not a complete gun. Like, it doesn't have a frame around it. At least from every gun I normally see, there's some sort of frame around it. It almost looks like it's some sort of a prototype or something. But then again, what else is a gun than just a barrel, an ignition source, and place to load it up?
And one thing, and something someone may mention, is maybe I didn't screw the cap on all the way. Well, you can clearly see the cap is screwed on all the way, and this gun actually will not close if the cap is not screwed on all the way. So everything was functioning good on the gun. What I
Must be in a bit of a valley because I can hear an echo in there.
didn't know was the slap round that I put inside it was extra, extra hot, and I had no idea. And there's really no way for me to have ever known. These rounds are extremely rare.
I mean, unless you actually take the thing apart and see how much ammo it's got in or directly weigh it to the milligram, you would never really know what's in it.
And they're very old. They're like $100 a piece. These aren't
Jesus! $100 a piece for the... See, he's putting that YouTube money to good work.
manufactured anymore, and really there's no way you can really know what's happened to them over time as they've passed hand to hand. I was under the impression that these were genuine military surplus rounds and hadn't been tampered with. So now
if I recall, I heard a story somewhere that at one point, I don't know if it was the Cold War or a Vietnam War or some more modern war, I believe that there was like a sabotaging of ammo. I think it was for AK ammo against the Soviets, I think. Yeah, essentially that's a bunch of crates of ammo were basically sabotaged to be either extra hot, as they put it for this one, or just or either defective in some way. So if this is kind of that kind of way, I can see why this is dangerous.
I'm gonna actually show you what happened. It's not graphic.
Oh, good to know.
All the graphic stuff happened after the fact, and I'm gonna tell you all about that, but I am gonna show you what happened just so you can see what happened to me that day.
Be nice if there was a countdown. Oh, Jesus! First it was there, and then it wasn't. Holy crap! Oh my god! Ooh. Oh, you can see the cap. Oh, I want to slow this down and take a look a little bit more on this if you guys don't mind. Holy crack-a-mole! First it was there, and then it wasn't. Holy cow! Come on, YouTube. Move it on. Frame by frame. Frame by frame. Actually, let's do 10 seconds. Ooh! Ooh, Jesus. Whoop. 1 point. Oh my god, that is just one frame. Holy cow. Okay, you got all the fire pulling out there. The whole back of the gun is like gone. Boom. Oh. Gone. 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 Jesus. Like his hand is here. His hand is here. Boom. His hand is no longer there. Jesus. Oh my god, that is. Let's see here. Jesus. It is nasty. Never. Oh Jesus! It blew the glasses right off his face. Jesus. Remember, always wear protection, no matter what it is. Jesus.
So when I pulled the trigger, the gun exploded almost immediately.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would say. That's pretty darn immediate.
So the first thing that went was this cap. And this cap is solid steel.
That's probably what we saw bounce and yeah.
And it is very, very heavy. If you look right here, the threads are sheared off of this gun completely. I spoke with Mark
That's not easy to do.
Serbu, and he said that normal pressures are 55,000 psi. And for those threads to have sheared off and this cap to have just blown off like that, we're looking at over 85,000 psi.
It ain't double, but jeez, that's a lot to possibly make that rip off. Bloody heck.
So the cap blows off. It's kind of hard to put these on because
safe to say, his arm going, it's probably why it's in a brace right now.
of my little nose brace, I'll explain. But safety glasses are on, and this cap, you can see this little crescent here.
Ooh. Yeah, that whole thing is nastily cracked open. Jeez.
Cap hit me right there. I'm not really sure which way, probably more like this.
Probably, yeah.
But it struck me in the face. When this cap hit me in the face, it broke my orbital bone in 3 spots, here, here, and here.
Jeez. I wonder if they had to put any metal plates into them after that, because Jesus.
Also broke my nose, and that's why I have this on. I've had to have facial surgery to repair all this. Here's the really bad
He's not going to be going through any airports anytime soon.
part though. On this lower, normally there's these 2 ears that stick up right here.
Oh. They are not attached anymore. That is what we call shrapnel.
And this is what prevents you from closing the gun when the cap's not on all the way.
I'm starting to see how we got the scar.
If the cap is on all the way, it will fit perfectly right here with those ears pushed up against it. When the cap blew off the gun, it came straight back, shearing those ears off the lower. One of these is still at the hospital, and this is the one we found. This one zipped right past my head, went inside my hat, blew a hole through it, and took it off my head, what appears 7 to 8 feet.
How did that, like, did it, like, go right here? Like, I'm not sure how in the world he didn't get anything happening to his head if that's the case, because holy cow.
Now the other one is what almost ended me. The other ear hit me right here in the throat. It proceeded to lacerate my jugular vein and then punctured a hole in my right lung.
Jesus! Like, that thing traveled. Holy crack.
As for my hand, my best guess is this is what did it. In the video, you can see that the stock almost disappears instantly.
Oh yeah, that is definitely what I saw.
I believe it
And your hand went with it.
came in a downward motion and hit my finger. You have your natural bend in your index finger. Well, this bone right here looked like a V.
Oh. wounds should not look like that. No, they should not look like that.
So my finger looked like a big W. So back to the lacerated jugular. I've now been hit in the throat, and I'm not really sure what happened because when this cap hit me in the face, I went blind in my right eye instantly. I have vision coming back now, and they say my eyes should make a full recovery. But in that moment,
It's a miracle this guy is alive. What the heck? Metal should not be in your body unless surgically placed there. This is not surgery. This was not a surgery. Jesus.
I went completely blind in this eye, and it was like I had been punched. And I went backwards, and I landed on all fours. A lot of you wonder who is behind the camera in my videos. This is my dad.
Hi, Dad.
His
Oh,
name
God.
is also Scott.
God dang. I don't even know what to imagine if my dad would watch me go through something like this. Considering what had to happen with my dad. Oh, boy. Oh, dear.
If he had not been out here with me, that would have been it for me. He come running up and he let me know of my injuries because I was still in a daze. I've just been punched in the face by a big metal cap. And he let me know real quick that there was a hole in my neck and I was losing a lot of blood really fast. My dad shoved his thumb into my neck and said, "Put your thumb there." Now that I'm aware of what's going on, I took my left thumb, I took my shirt, wrapped it in my shirt, and I shoved it as far into my neck as possible. I was not aware that my jugular was lacerated, but I did know this is really bad. I have a law enforcement background, and I've been trained in injuries and wounds and gunshots and things like that. And I know very well that if you get hit in the neck, it's not good because you can't tourniquet a neck. After I had plugged the hole, I applied extreme.
He honestly was so close to winding up dead. There, like, oh, I mean, after viewing the whole Charlie Kirk thing and how he got shot very, like, he didn't even get shot by a smooth bullet. He basically got shot by a piece of metal going right through, tumbling through his body, tearing his butt up. I think the Lord above, he is not, but he should be dead right now. It is a miracle he is still alive. Holy Jesus.
Pressure, pinched my head down into my hand, and made a run for the truck. So the truck here was right near us. There's a trailer attached. I had to run around the front. I jumped in the passenger seat. Dad jumped in, and we took off. And this all happened in a matter of seconds. I would say under a minute. We were in that truck and just hauling tail into town. Something I forgot to mention.
I'm just picturing everything going on. Like the way he's describing it, the way I can just imagine his dad rushing on over, grabbing his arm, pushing it in. Hey, hold us there. You got shot. We got to get out. Go, go, go. Or something like that. And just getting right over to that truck in like the span of like 60 seconds or so. And then, and then driving off as fast as they can. And, oh my God, I'm just picturing it all in my head. And it's like, oh, Jesus, that's got to be terrifying. And yet at the same time, that first few seconds, you don't have time to be scared. You just got to move or you're dead. So I'm glad they at least had the wherewithal to do something, because I think any little bit of hesitation, his dad could be the one telling the story.
This upper weighs like 25 pounds. And you can see in the video that it just gets thrown off the table. So much pressure came out the back of this upper that it launched it off the table. It's an insane amount of energy that was thrown into my
First it was there, then it wasn't. Ta-da! The deadly magic trick, Jesus.
body. So now we're driving very fast into town. I am applying constant pressure to my throat, and I'm breathing very slowly, trying to control my heart rate, because the faster your heart rate, the faster you're going to bleed. My dad's driving, so I thought it would be nice of me to call the ambulance. My dad didn't agree with this, but I wanted to do it myself because I wanted to try and stay awake. I needed to be doing something to keep myself conscious. If you have an iPhone, there's this nifty little.
I'm not sure which hand I'm assuming he was using the hand that's currently holding the phone right now. I'm assuming that that's the hand that's currently got his thumb in his neck. And that means he's using his busted up, probably in a lot of pain hand to do this. Trying to make the call.
Feature on the side here, and if you hit that button one too many times, it'll call 911. This can be
I'm sure he needs to make an explanation to a dispatcher on that particular warning.
kind of annoying when you're trying to shut off your alarm in the morning, but when there's a lot of bodily fluids on your phone and you can't open it, it comes in really handy. I got on the phone with 911 and I let them know what had happened and that we were coming into town and they were going to send an ambulance to meet us halfway. There were several times where I thought I was going to pass out. And I knew if I passed out that that was going to be it, because my dad's driving. If I pass out, who's going to keep applying pressure to my neck to keep me from bleeding out? Times like this.
Okay, no, I think as he showed there, he's using the bad hand to actually keep him pressured in there. But oh, Jesus, I'm just visualizing and I'm just thinking I'm hearing the sounds and the. Oh my God, I'm not very good with empathy, so I literally, if I want to feel something, I literally have to force myself to imagine it. And oh boy, I can get some pretty vivid thoughts when I'm doing that. But oh my God,
you really need something to focus on, and I focused on my kids. I had their faces in my brain, and I just focused on them, and I fought as hard as I could. I stayed conscious the entire time.
God, I can't imagine how much pain that must have been.
We met the ambulance halfway. They got me loaded up, and we took off towards the hospital. And like I said, I know that I was in a bad spot, and I don't know if you know this, but if your jugular is completely severed, you have 30 seconds. I knew that being hit in the throat, I may not have much time, but the closer we got to the hospital, the more my confidence built, and I thought, hey, maybe I'm gonna be all right. When I was in the ambulance, I asked them to cut my shirt off because I was having trouble breathing. And
honestly, with how much damage he's had, I am shocked we didn't have a blood spurt happen in that video. It's like, you know, that's probably the sign that he was going to be okay-ish, but god dang, I just cannot imagine how much blood must have been on that scene. Holy cow.
I thought maybe I'd been hit in the chest as well. They cut my
you kind of were.
Shirt off. There wasn't anything there, but when I got to the hospital, they x-rayed me, and they said my right lung had collapsed because it had filled with blood, and that was from this little guy here puncturing my lung as well. So from there, they had to intubate me while I was wide awake, and I tell you, that is not fun. Take this long metal rod with a point on it, and they stick it through your rib cage, and it wasn't fun. After that, I was feeling a little better. I could breathe a little better. And then they wanted me to take my thumb out of my neck, and I was like, we're not taking my thumb out of my neck. You just wrap it up with some tape and stay there.
This is now part of my neck now. You can just leave that out. You can just stitch that thumb right on in there if you would.
But they told me I had to take my thumb out of my neck. So they had a bunch of gauze and packing, and as soon as I pulled it out, they packed my throat. When I pulled my thumb out, that's when I saw my finger, and they said that I audibly said, oh, that's not good, because my finger looked like a big W. They informed
what else do you say at that point?
Me after that they were going to have to life flight me to Vanderbilt Hospital in Nashville, Tennessee. Very, very good hospital with very, very good doctors. Obviously, I'm here making this video.
That's a testament to that hospital then. Like, oh boy, yeah, good for giving credit to the hospital that did that, because oh my god, it's a miracle. Especially if you had to get transported to another hospital. Honestly, if you got yourself situated into a point where you have not died in those couple minutes there, and you are doing things right, you might be okay as long as you get to those doctors like ASAP, you most likely will be fine. But there is usually a point of no return, and I'm glad he never crossed it.
Shout out to Vanderbilt Hospital. You guys are the best. So now they're about to knock me out, and at this moment I realized that this may be the last time that I see my wife or see my dad, because once they knock you out, That's it. Either they're gonna fix you or you're not waking up. My wife had arrived. I called her in there, I held her hand, and we had words, and then I called my dad in to pray. And after that, I remember waking up in Vanderbilt Hospital, hooked up to every...
Jesus, how many different machines? Oh my god. Oh my god. And his chest has got like been taped up too. It's like, oh my goodness. Holy cow. Of course, that's the ventilator, of course. They probably had to have one. It's like, oh. And then I'm just looking at that splint around his finger. Oh dear lordy, 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 lordy.
Machine
That's
possible.
insane.
I'm gonna throw some pictures in here. So they did a number on me. So you can see this cut here, and this actually goes
Wait, are those stitches or are those staples? Jesus.
all the way down to right here. To repair my jugular and my lung, they had to open up my chest completely. They cut me completely open, just like open heart surgery. They told me a guy my size should hold 6 to 8 units of blood, and total, from all the blood I lost from the initial injury and the surgeries, they had to give me 5 units. There was also there was also a chance that I could have had a stroke. To repair your jugular vein, they have to pinch it off. Well, your jugular vein supplies the oxygenated blood to your brain. So they can only pinch it off for so long. They pinch it off, they repair it, then after that, when they open it back up, all that blood rushes into your brain, and there's a chance you could have a stroke. Praise God, I did not have a stroke as well.
Obviously,
as for my hand and my face, they had to do surgery on that as well. I have...
As somebody who had to watch their parent, at least I got to be with them for it, the fact that that his family had to not necessarily say goodbye because they don't know what was going to happen, but get some final words together. Oh dear Lord, it's just kind of bring me back to that moment with my pa. Jesus. Oh my goodness. I can only it's one thing to be there and seeing them go, but then it's a whole nother thing when you don't know if they are or not, or are going to get better or worse, and then the actual moment is going to happen on a surgery table, which you can't be there for, and you can only just wait for a result. Just that has to be just pure torture, because if it doesn't go wrong, then there's no goodbyes that you'll actually have at that moment. You're just praying and hoping that it works. Ooh, dear God.
Pins in my finger to hold it in place. And like I said, they had to repair my orbital bone in 3 spots. As you can see, they cut me here and right here. And they also cut inside my mouth, all the way back here to the front to be able to get to all of those spots. So I had a breathing tube in, but I still...
They probably had to fish out shattered bone pieces from inside your face, I imagine.
I wanted to talk. I wanted to know what had happened to me and what was going to happen. Well, my nurse, Cody, shout out to that guy, best nurse ever, brought me a dry erase board so that I could write and ask questions. I wanted to talk to my wife. Well, he would call her for me, and then I would write out what I wanted to say, and he would say it over the phone for me, and then I could sit there and talk to my wife. Also, I really wanted a mellow yellow. I was craving it.
And that's also a good sign that he was at least well enough to be able to write, because that means his brain was at least still working. Take it from me, when they get into a position where they cannot write or cannot properly communicate any kind of wishes, that's when you know it's... Oh, dear God. I'm at least glad he was nowhere near any of that kind of positions. Oh, dear God.
So bad. When I was finally unhooked from everything, I remember sitting in my room, and he peeked his head in. He was like, "Can you eat and drink now?" And I said, "Yeah." And he handed me a Miller Yellow. Coolest nurse ever. So for about 2 days, I had tubes coming out of the front of my chest, 1 tube coming out of my right side, and 1 tube coming out from behind my collarbone to drain everything around my lungs. Now, to carry this little vacuum pack with me. They removed those really quick. I'm healing extremely fast. They kicked me out of trauma within a few days. This happened on April 9th, which is a Friday. I went home the following Saturday. There is a lot more to this story when it comes to my...
I don't know the exact year this happened, but if this happened during COVID, oh, he would have been screwed. Because there would have been either long lines or preparations or something that would probably have prevented him from getting any kind of help. Oh, dear God. The stars were aligned with this darn day. I'm telling you what. Oh, he is so goddamn lucky to be alive.
Injuries and everything that I had to do to overcome them. Long story short, I shouldn't be standing here. I should be 6 foot under. And
I am glad you are not. Holy crack.
If it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. So I know there's one big question that you're all wondering. What's going to happen to Kentucky Ballistics, and am I going to keep making videos? And
I mean, obviously, spoiler alert, he keeps making videos.
the answer to that is absolutely. I'm not going to quit doing what I love because of a freak accident. There's nothing that can keep me from continuing on.
Although, you might be a little more safer, perhaps, or a little less trigger happy. Who knows? I'm sure he changed something up with the procedure he does with things. Just a smidge.
I love what I do, and I appreciate every single one of you. I am healing at a Wolverine rate. I am healing so fast that really a lot of people have been kind of confused at how fast I'm healing. That's God. He's healing me quick. And I'm going to keep making videos, and I cannot wait to get back out here. I have some videos planned, and I think you're going to like them. It's going to be some really funny stuff. Also, I know there's going to be a good bit of you that want to support
I'm noticing the shirt.
me while I'm healing, and I really, really appreciate that, but I don't want to do a GoFundMe or anything like that. If you want to help me out, I want you to get something out of it too. So we got some new shirts. The doctors
Of course he would make a shirt out of it.
told me that if it wasn't for this thumb, that I would have died. This thumb saved my life, and my wife came up with this saying. She said, just put a thumb in it. And I thought that was the funniest thing ever. So that's what we're going with. We have
Hey, if there's a hole, you must plug it.
just put a thumb in it shirts. I think these are awesome. And if you want to support me, there's a link in the description down below. They're available now. Pick you up a shirt and support Kentucky Ballistics.
What if he still has those shirts?
This is not my normal content, and definitely not what you expected me to post this week,
I'm pretty sure you weren't expecting it either.
but this is something I felt like I needed to let you know. Again, this was a complete freak accident, and there's no way I would have ever known just how hot that round was until it was too late. So like I said, I'm healing really fast, and I'm gonna be back to it as soon as possible. But in the meantime, keep your eyes peeled for some pretty interesting videos I have planned and my update videos. Before I close this video, I just wanna say how much I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for making what I do possible. And I know that the majority of you are gonna be extremely supportive right now, and I really, really appreciate that. Don't forget, if you wanna pick up a shirt, there's a link in the description down below. And as always, my name is Scott. My name is Scott, and you will most definitely see me next time.
And it's already shooting again. Well, if you got one good arm, you got one good finger, you can pull a trigger. Alright, looks like the rest is mostly... Alright, looks like the rest is gonna be Patreon supporters, and there was a... I don't think there was any kind of... I don't think there's anything in the end there. Yeah, that's the end card. Well! Oh my goodness gracious. That story hits. That story definitely hits. Oh my goodness. This fact that he had his father there and had to watch that whole gosh darn thing. And I'm already curious about this helicopter blade stopping a bullet one. I might want to watch that one next. Well, anyways, I thank y'all for watching this with me. I'm pretty sure you've seen this millions of times in millions of other reactors, but oh dear goodness gracious, this one, yeah, this one hit me. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching this with me here. Please do leave comments of anything else you would like me to react towards. I love y'all. I'll take a good rest of your day. Now, please leave a subscribe to help me build up my channel and follow along with the future and stick around with me. Y'all take me there now and live life to the max. I am out.